Welcome to our Collective Tech channel. Today, we're going to bring you the 30 tips on how to start and play Minecraft Survival. So Minecraft Survival is the way the game was intended to be played by its developers in survival mode. Players spawn inside a vast, blocky world and must use resources around them to survive and thrive. Before we continue, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to get more videos. Control. On the desktop edition, the default key for throwing an item is Q, which is right next to the movement keys. This makes it way too easy to throw away the tool in hand, such as your pickaxe or your sword. You can use the option screen to change the key to a less convenient key, such as O, which will most likely avoid such embarrassing and perhaps fatal mistakes. Finding your directions. Within the Minecraft world, a compass is not how you tell which way is north. Rather, it always points to a fixed point, the world spawn. Sometimes, though, you do need to tell north from south and so on, so there are a few ways to do that. You can find north by hitting a block and checking the directions of the cracks which occur on a block as it is mined. You can watch which direction the sun, moon, stars, or clouds are moving. Each of these always moves from east to west. In the Java edition, the debug screen, activated by pressing F3, will give you information on which way you're facing. And if you have a map, such as in Bedrock Edition, a locator map, covering where you are, the map will show an arrow-like player icon. This points the same way that you are facing in the world. The top of the map is north, the right edge is east, and so on. Peaceful mode. So if you're having too much difficulty with hostile mobs, such as a zombie or a creeper, or can't find any food to eat, you may be able to set the world difficulty to peaceful. So in peaceful mode, hunger and health will quickly regenerate, the hunger bar will not harm the player's health, and all hostile mobs will instantly despawn. Game rules. Another option for moderating the game difficulty is to alter the game rules with cheat commands or by choosing them when creating the world. As with peaceful mode, these are controversial, but in single player, hey, it's your game. On a multiplayer server, you probably will not be able to change these rules in any case unless you own the server. Open the world to land. If you have a lot of valuable items like diamond armor, a diamond sword, diamonds, gold, iron, then you'll probably be more afraid to have all your hard work come to nothing. So unfortunately, this means that if you dug a hole into lava, all the items that you were carrying will be lost forever. Many players delete the world when this happens. However, never delete any world. Just think about the effort of building the base. It took more time to build it than to find the resources you needed. Crafting tips. Recent versions of Minecraft feature a recipe book, which will supply most of the recipes that can be made with all the items you've picked up. It can also make it easier to craft as well as remember recipes. That said, it is possible to craft recipes that aren't in the book yet by remembering their crafting pattern. They will then be added to the book, along with many recipes using the new item. Building a house. For beginners, the player might want to hollow out the side of a hill or a mountain. That can be done quickly and turned into a good shelter, but keep in mind it will be harder to find the home if the player wanders off, or the player could place torches if they have any around the entrance. Good thing is that mobs cannot track any players down by light sources, except zombies. A second design is to collect a lot of logs and build a house of planks. Set your spawn. If your base is far away from the spawn point, and if you have 3 wool and 3 planks, you can make a bed. Clicking on the bed will set your spawn point to the bed, and as of version 1.15, this will work even during the daytime. Actually, sleeping in the bed will also set your spawn point. However, if the bed is not there or blocked, when you do die, the spawn point will be lost entirely, and you will respawn near the world spawn point. Build bases. If you've discovered a structure that could yield you many items, such as a mine shaft, a stronghold, or a swamp hut, you may be tempted by the riches. However, don't attempt to enter right away, as you may lose any valuables and may not be able to reach them in time. To prevent this from happening, set up a new spawn point at the outskirts of the discovered structure by placing a bed and sleeping in it. Zombie-proof door. Zombies can break down doors if the game difficulty is set to hard when night falls. Here's a solution that doesn't require the player to craft an iron door or compromise the base's security. Simply break down the door and then turn so that the player is perpendicular to where the door just was, and place the door. Get out of the hole the door is occupying, open it by right-clicking. Now if the door is placed right, zombies will think that the door is open and avoid it. Legitimate motion sensor. To detect mobs in their tracks, simply surround the house with a ton of planks. The mobs should walk on the planks, make plank sounds, and alert the player of their presence. Then the player can dig out or prepare for battle. The preferable radius is 5 blocks out. Minecart perimeter. A trick to defend the base that works best once the player is settled in and has enough iron to make at least tracks, and ideally powered rails and a minecart. Simple version is to just ring the house with rails and mobs will not walk across tracks. However, this will not prevent creepers from exploding, skeletons shooting across the rails, or endermen teleporting into your base. Emergency shelters. So if you're stuck outside in the middle of the night with many hostile mobs coming to attack you, you can make an emergency shelter. Ideally, you should dig 3 blocks down and place a block above you, making a cramped yet safe area to stay in. You should have a torch, however, if you wish to avoid being in the dark without a light source. If the monsters aren't already too close, you can even dig out more space to place a bed. Log collecting technique from trees. If you can get to every block of wood on a tree but just can't reach the top block, try leaving the bottom block intact and then jump on it to get to the rest. Once done, harvest the bottom. If you still can't reach the top, you can pillar jump up, jump and then place a block beneath you. Use a block that's easy to break like dirt or wood or stone. Once done, you can mine away from your own blocks and either break the tree stump or leave it to mark the tree's drops when you come back later. Collecting sand or gravel without using a shovel. Instead of wasting a shovel's durability by digging piles of sand, gravel, or even concrete powder, you can use torches or various other blocks to break entire columns at once. This works with any passable block, including rails, redstone dust, or even slabs, but torches are always almost handy. Branch mining. So this is perhaps the safest way to mine, with higher rewards. This method consists of digging a staircase down to level 11, blocking off any caves the player may find along the way. Now this is the ideal level to find diamonds. Diamond ore can be found between levels 5 and 16. But lava pools make a real hazard below level 11. Keep a water bucket with you in the hotbar just in case. Press F3 in Java Edition. When the player is at y = 11, start mining a 3-block tall, 1-block wide tunnel, or branch in any direction. Compact. This can be any size, so for example, dig 1 block down 8 by 8, then mine all of the blocks down 1 more, but don't mine a block that was in one of the corners. Then repeat this, but instead of not mining that 1 block, mine the block next to it. As it gets deeper, it starts to form stairs. This is possibly the best way to get lots of orb and the safest, but by far the hardest to make, recover, and get blocks. Players will need about 1 or 2 stacks of torches, glowstones, etc., and a lot of pickaxes. Above ground. Make a 1 by 2 by 2 doorway in the back of the base. After that easy step, make a huge room, have several different ways to mine, low, high, left, right. The player is sure to hollow out a mountain soon, getting some hefty supplies of coal and iron. However, they will not encounter gold, redstone, lapis, lazuli, or diamond, and there is still a slight danger for lava. Spelunking. Find a cave and explore a branch of that cave. If the cave branches off while exploring the current branch, go down one of the paths at random. When the player reaches a dead end, they then should go back and mine the coal, iron, etc. that the player has passed. Leave at least some of the torches that are placed to keep the area lit and prevent monsters from spawning. Mine shaft with a water drop. So the player is going to need about 7 stacks of ladders, a water bucket, a few irons, or diamond pickaxes, and a sign. The sign's optional, though it is helpful to mark where to place the water. Grid mining. Similar to branch mining, except make 2 by 2 tunnels instead of a 1 by 2. And dig a new tunnel every 16 blocks, creating a grid pattern. This method isolates chunks if built on a chunk border, which can then be mined out for ores. Ravine mining. Ravines are a structure in Minecraft that are deep cuts into the world, often exposing ore like coal or iron, or even gold or redstone if the ravine goes low enough. Many players are tempted by this and decide to jump right down into the ravine. However, if the player does that, it will be much harder to get back up, and the player will take fall damage. Instead, the player will need to make a safe way to get down to the bottom. There are several ways to do this. Obtaining coal without mining. If the player has made the shelter and mined some cobblestone but can't find any coal to fuel or light the environment, just make a furnace. Smelt some logs, not planks. Use the planks for fuel, 2 planks for every 3 logs the player wants to smelt. This will smelt into charcoal, which is almost identical to coal except that it cannot be packed into coal blocks or sold to villagers. Darkness. If a player runs out of coal or charcoal, remember that hostile mobs require a light level of 7 or less to spawn. Use this knowledge to save some torches in the shelter, even if things are a little dim. Any space within 6 blocks of a torch is spawn-proof. Also, monsters won't randomly spawn near the player, 24 blocks. The player may want to light up a perimeter just to see what's coming, and light the base so the player does not need to come back to find a new tenant, but monsters won't be appearing in front of them. Light tip. In order to save torches while mining, they can be placed along the floor every 13 blocks since a torch has a light level of 14, and that spacing will make sure the light level never drops to 7, where the mobs will be able to spawn. So if F3 is enabled, place the torch when the light level of the block the player is standing on is 2. Upper tier ores. If the player sees some redstone, diamond, or some upper tier ore, don't use low-level pickaxes to mine them. When the ore mines as slowly as breaking stone with bare hands, that's a hint that it will not drop anything. Indeed, if any ores or stone, except obsidian, takes more than 2 seconds to mine, the player is using the wrong pickaxe, assuming the wrong pickaxe is not enchanted with efficiency. The rules are that wooden or gold pickaxes only mine coal and stone, while stone mines iron, coal, lapis lazuli ores. Item durabilities. So if the player is new to Minecraft, they may not know what happens if they're mining with a tool and suddenly it turns into the hand and the tool's gone. So that is because the durability of the tools run out. Take care to look at the durability of items, that's the little colored bar underneath the item, before departing on any long trips, be it exploring or mining, as the last thing players will want to do is take the long trip back home just for an axe or a pickaxe. Then when the new tool is itself mostly used up, the player can combine the two. This pools their remaining durability with a repair bonus for good measure. Also, F3 plus H shows the durability of weapons and armor, and this setting is retained through restarts of the client. Farming techniques. Passive mobs will spawn, very seldom, after they have been killed, which means that meat will eventually be short of demand if the player keeps killing animals without breeding them. The same is true for plants. So a solution to this is to make farms. Wheat farms. Most players like starting a wheat farm first because wheat seeds are one of the first items you can acquire. Note that all methods for wheat will work identically for potatoes and carrots, except that those that don't have separate seeds. Just replant the crop. So that's it for the tips to start and play Minecraft Survival. If you liked our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Comment down below on your favorite part of the video.